Hey guys, my name is Will. That's Enzo. Lotus is down here. Today we're going to be shopping for an Evo X MR. There's a lot more Evo X for sale than 8s and 9s, so I am going to try to move quickly through these. Obviously, feel free to rewind. If you have any questions, leave those below. I'll be happy to take a second look at any of these cars. Generally speaking, if you haven't watched any of these videos I've done 2 of them before. If you haven't watched those, I mostly focus on the images because that's going to tell me most of the information anyways. If there's something intriguing about the car, then I will further read it. But basically, this is how I shop for an Evo, or really any car, is, I go through and figure out what I'm looking for and then start weeding them out from there. Once I find ones that interest me, then I'll read the descriptions, I'll go a little bit further, and then I decide which ones are worth spending time investigating further. I hope you guys find these videos helpful. Please subscribe to, everybody was being quiet and good. I'm just gonna shoot some videos. All right, so we're gonna be doing MRs today. I've gone ahead and pulled them up, each tab. I don't know if you can see my tabs, but I've got 2008, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 all separated just to make this a little more organized. I actually went through this as just kind of one video set, listing them all in search results, and it was a mess. So this is actually take 2 because it would have just been way too confusing, I feel like, for you guys to keep track of that. As before, we're going to skip any that have photos, or I'm sorry, don't have photos. Basically, we're just creating a short list here. So if I'm shopping for an Evo MR right now, I'm going through all of these real quick, and I'm going to save the ones just like in a new tab or bookmark them, ones that I want to come back to and start evaluating further. Then once I get through all those and take those farther, whether that's contacting the sellers, the dealerships, whatever, if I burn through all those and there's nothing new for sale and I don't like any of those to move forward with, then I may start going into some of the B or the C list stuff. So keep that in mind. So this is our first take, how we're going to weed through all these. (2008) obviously is where we're starting. MR, obviously. One of the things I will say is do actually select trims when you're dealing with the the Evo 10s, because there's just too many of them. You'd end up with, if you didn't filter out MRs and GSRs, yeah, it's possible you might miss an MR in the GSRs and vice versa, but probably not. What I will say though is whether you want an MR touring or not, click both of them, because they mess up all the time. They say it's a touring and it's not, and vice versa. So this one is, let me change my brightness, make it a little easier for you guys. All right, this one is $15,995. It's got 142,000 miles. I don't know, it's the first one we're looking at. So let's see, it looks like we've got a front lip. I can't tell if that's like an OEM style lip. Aftermarket head unit. We've got upper intercooler piping. We've got an intake. Something here is going on, probably something to do with the aftermarket stereo is my guess. Factory wheels, that's good. It's got side skirts here. Again, now the 08s were different in their body panels a little bit, so I don't pay that much attention to the 08s. These, I think, are the factory OEM ones. They look like it, and it's only you're going to see these on. So if you're looking for an MR or a GSR and you start noticing that the 08s look a little different, that's why that is. Let's see, doesn't look like they've blacked out anything in the front, which is common. Interior looks pretty steady. You'll notice they have the red center stash there. That's an 08 thing. You also notice the steering wheel's a little different for the all-wheel drive control, or the transmission control. That's an 08 thing as well. This has had the OEM badges removing. It's got the UK style badge. It does have an exhaust. And 08 is also the only year it has the red tail lights. Just kind of remember that as well. Looks pretty stock. minus the exhaust and the intake and the upper intercooler piping. And you'll notice that I was right the first time I said it, that they kept the transmission down there. It is just the all-wheel drive system right there. So that's the only year you see that, just FYI. It just changes the modes is all. This is the first one we're looking at. I'd put this in my maybe. This being completely across the country for me personally, I wouldn't have any interest in it, especially since I don't care for black. But if this is in your time zone type of thing, yeah, I'd put this in the maybe. Especially since I think English Racing is up kind of near that area, so you could always maybe have them check it out, or some other shops or dealerships that you trust. Tuning is going to be obviously the biggest thing you got to watch out for when they've started doing mods. They should have done some sort of tuning. Did they? What kind of tuning? You got to be careful. I always prefer stock, but I know that's not always an option. So here we are, basically the same price, and we've got a lot less miles. So that's telling you that other one is way overpriced already. Let's see, and we've got upper intercooler piping and intake again is AMS at least. I don't know what the other brand is. AMS front mount. And exhaust, we can't tell what kind it is. Maybe AMS. It looks awfully ugly. Badging's gone. Taillights have been tinted. That's all they really show. Custom wheels. No, those are not custom wheels, actually. This is a private seller, so yeah, I'd put this in the maybe for sure. I don't know that I'd necessarily fly a super long distance, but it's not a terrible price. The mileage isn't crazy. Yeah, I'd put this on my first list that I'm going to go back through for sure. Let's see. 2008, obviously, 60,000 miles, 16.4. Price is a little bit higher. It's got some ugly wheels, the side skirts, and it looks like the hood and the trunk and the vortex. It's got vortex generators added. All of those things are carbon. Looks like we got some carbon here. They've done something weird on the A and B pillar, or the B pillar here. I don't know what's going on there. They've blacked these out, and it looks like the corner markers may have been changed too. I don't know anything about wheels really, unless it's like a major brand, but ADR, I don't know. I'd rather have the factory wheels. If maybe those are worth something, you can sell them. I don't know. We got hood. Oh gosh, no. Okay, I'm putting this in the pretty much no pile. Yeah. Oh, stickers on the inside. Gosh, this is just awful. I wouldn't even bother with this, honestly. I mean, maybe if it's in your backyard and you can get them to come down quite a bit, because I'm going to have to fix a lot of stuff on this car, when I'd rather just buy one of the other ones that we already looked at for less money, about the same amount of miles, and a lot less crap on it. So I'm going to put that in the no. 2008, 54,000 miles, 17.2. A little bit more expensive, a little bit less miles. Depends if you like silver. The roof's been blacked, it looks like. The side skirts, or not side skirts, the vents here have been blacked out. Let's see. These have been blacked out. Hood vents. The badging's gone. And just so you guys know, if you haven't already figured it out, I don't necessarily care about all these things. Like, I don't really care if they blacked out stuff like this, as long as it looks nice. More just pointing it out to you guys who may not know that that's been changed. That is something I would definitely want to inspect this, see what this is. Either paint, it looks more like a vinyl wrap or something. Some random part here. This trunk lining is coming off. It looks like there's a cut in the... Yeah, this is making me question the owner's care of the car. Oh, what was that? What is this little button here? They've done something. Yeah, I'm pretty much ready to put this in the no pile. Yeah, we got a digital boost controller. Yeah, this is going in my no pile. Yeah, I mean, if you live in Utah, you know, again, if you could negotiate to fix the couple things and really have it checked out, but if you're new to Evos, I'm just going to put this in the no pile. No picture, not clicking on it. 2008, 75,000 miles, 18,499, and you say it's a great price, Auto Trader. See, that's why you can't trust any of that stuff. This is actually near me. Huh, okay. I actually know this dealership, and while I don't care much for dealerships in general, oh no, I don't know this dealership. Never mind. It is near me though. Looks like factory wheels have been painted or something. We've got a quad exhaust because 2 just wasn't enough. Got all the badging though. It's been slammed down. Makes me wonder what kind of shape the struts are in. Does appear to have the proper 2-piece rotors. We've got an engine, upper intercooler piping. We've got a cold air, or not a cold air, but just an intake. Interior looks fairly stock. Has the GPS. I'm sure a 10-plus-year-old GPS unit from Mitsubishi will work just fine. So here's a perfect example. I don't really like this car, but if I'm shopping for an Evo today, the price is too high regardless. But if I can get them to come down $3,000 maybe or more, and I get it checked out and it's in good shape, yeah, I mean, maybe. Just because it's so close and there's nothing like just terrible about it. Now, if you don't live close by, I probably wouldn't mess with it much. 2008, even more expensive with more miles. So great price, good price. Like, what are you doing? All right, let's click on it though. Front end's been blacked out. All the louvers have been blacked out. The corner markers have been blacked out. It's got different brake rotors. Taillights have been tinted and changed, it looks like. Yep, definitely maybe new tires, but the brakes are different, so they're probably not 2-piece rotors anymore. And 2-piece rotors are quite expensive, so just keep that in mind. So it has the upgraded brake handle, but the base shift knob, I'm pretty certain those are a package when you buy them, which means they took it. Okay. And engine, upper intercooler piping again, and an intake. Yeah, I mean, I don't love it. And this isn't red anymore. They've changed something on that. Aftermarket stereo. Yeah, I mean, despite the quote-unquote good price, which is actually a terrible price, no. I mean, it's got issues that concern me, and it's about $3,000 more than it should be. So, no, I'm going to go with no on this. All right, 2008, 53,000 miles, 21,900. All right, well, I mean, at least we're going back down in miles. It's still way overpriced. And it's got some awful wheels, and they photoshopped. I hate when they do this because you can't tell stuff. It's got some different louvers here. It's got some sort of lip wing. It's got an exhaust. Taillights have been changed. All the badging's gone. Looks like they put HIDs in the running lights. That's not a big deal. That takes a few seconds to do, or they just put a brighter bulb. Let's see. Again, we've got the brake handle, but the base shift knob. Those look like the factory GPS. Can't really tell what kind of condition the paint is in. That's not the factory. That's a Pioneer head unit. Never mind. Yeah, rotors have been changed. Wheels have been changed. It does look relatively stock under the hood, minus this carbon fiber cap. Yeah, the fact remains, though, that this thing is just way too overpriced. It's got these wheels that, I don't know, maybe if these wheels are worth something, you can sell them. I don't know. But yeah, I don't like this, and this price needs to come down pretty significantly. So this might be one of those where if you like these wheels or know you can sell these wheels and you live somewhat close to this, you may want to start with email. I usually have better luck emailing at first, especially if I want to negotiate more off the price. Let's see, 54,000 miles, 21,991. Got the wheels, got the suspension, looks stock. It's got, this doesn't match for some reason. It's weird. Yeah, see, there's the base brake handle and the base shift knob, so not sure what's going on with those other cars. I suspect they've just been taken. You know, I said that one was yellow. I think it was just because they photoshopped it so much that it actually changed the color. So it was probably the right dash. It just probably looked really weird. It's got the navigation system. I think they're showing some marks on the ceiling there. Looks pretty stock under the hood. Minus this, whatever is going on here with the rocker panels. It's probably just their camera or the way it's done, but these body panels look different, but it could just be the monitor or the way they took the pictures, or they've done a little photoshopping, it looks like. It's kind of hard to tell. But if you're looking at this car, I would just double check that bumper, just make sure. Obviously, you should be checking, make sure all the VIN numbers match anyways. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Me personally, I'm not going to fly to Wisconsin for this car. There's a couple things I don't love about it. And the price is just, you got to get this price to come down quite a bit. 2008, 57.7, 22.9. You can already see some visual mods that I'm not sure about. Got another ugly front lip. Headlights have been tinted, wheels have been swapped out, it's been lowered. Louvers here have been blacked. The ones on the hood have been blacked. The roof's been blacked. It's got this wing that's not correct. Looks kind of like an Evo IX wing. Oh, it's got a trunk as well. It does look like factory exhaust, though. They changed out the taillights. Changed out the shift knob. Changed out the brake handle. Was that it? I guess so. They covered up or put a little sticker over the badging on the steering wheel. Yeah, I don't like this car. There's too much body work. But if you're close by and you can inspect it and you can get them to come down several $1,000s, maybe. They don't show anything under the hood, which makes me concerned. There's something up here on the dash. It might just be like one of those things to like set your phone on so it doesn't slide around. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't love this car for sure. All right, last 2008, 24,899, 56,000 miles. Again, just way overpriced. All these 08s are just so overpriced. Factory wheels, but it has been lowered. The Mitsubishi and the Mitsubishi logo is missing. The exhaust has been changed. Let's see. They've got an ETS sticker. They've changed out the daytime running lamp bulbs. It's got some hideous head unit system going on here. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know what's wrong with that head unit, but no, I mean, I wouldn't pay anywhere near this price. I'd want at least $5 or $6 grand off of that. And that's the biggest issue with all the 08s is most of them are just overpriced. So, I mean, I think the only ones that make it to my short list out of these 08s was like this white one here, and maybe like one other, maybe like this one or something. I can't remember. You can go back through and rewatch, but yeah, I mean, 08s in general have that issue. All right, now we're going to go to 2010s. All right, 2010s, because there's no 2009s. After a 1 year break, Mitsubishi, after 1 year of selling 10s, needed another break, I guess. I think they just made too many. So, first one here says it's an MR Touring, whatever. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Let's see, got the right wheels. Suspension looks right. Right taillights, got all the badging, got stock exhaust, got the GPS unit. Doesn't have the leather seats or anything, so I don't think it is a Touring. It's got an AMS upper intercooler piping, SSQ blow-off valve, and related piping. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like immediate. Obviously, it's modded, so you got to keep that in mind, but there's nothing immediately that I see wrong. I wouldn't be flying to Colorado personally for this car. But if you're in that area, yeah, I could see if you're in that West Coast or mountain range, putting this more on the short list to check out. Miles is high, so I'd want to get the price a little bit better. But yeah, there's no like glaring issues. Let's see. 2010, 109,000 miles, 20,299. So we're going the wrong direction again. Wow, those are crappy pictures. Okay, front end's been blacked out a little bit. It looks like it's been lowered. Part of the badging is missing, and that's been blacked out. It looks like the exhaust has changed, but the pictures are so terrible, I'm not 100% certain. It does appear to actually be a Touring package, despite it not saying. You notice the 2010s have the updated gauge cluster. Don't know what's going on in the trunk there. And we've got some upper intercooler piping and something else back there. I can't tell. It looks like part of an intake. Oh, those brakes could be the photo quality, but they look really rough. They do look like the original two-piece. I wonder if that's like the original rotors or something. Yeah, I mean, this car looks a little rough from the photos. But it's in Montana. Obviously, I know there's probably not a lot in Montana, so if you're in that region, you might still want to check it out. There wasn't anything like terrible, but you definitely need to get this price down. And I definitely look at those brakes a little more closely, figure out what's going on with the trunk. You'd want to find some way to confirm the condition of the engine with the tune, see if it's been tuned. But yeah, I mean, anybody outside of Montana, you should not be flying there to check out this car. No picture. Here's a partial picture. When I shot this the first time, this dealership or something pops up a couple times, and they're all like that, and they never load. So don't know what's going on, but I'm not going to waste time on them this time. 2010, 22.9, 46,000 miles. Since it's a good price, I'm going to disagree based on that thumbnail, because I see a lot of body kit. Touring package, got some gauges, got the GPS unit. This look like inky wheels, got some different rotors. Body kit though just kills it. Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, no, we're done. Don't buy that car. That's terrible. 2010 MR 57,898, 23,495. Yeah, that's a little high. It does look like it has the stock wheel. Well, it has the stock wheels. The suspension looks pretty stock. Front end looks all stock. It's got all the badging plus a bonus crappy used dealer badge from whatever 628 Motorsports is. Yeah, that's gonna have to come off before I buy it. Otherwise, it's got the Touring package, it would seem. Looks pretty stock under the hood. Yep, Touring package. Really, minus the stupid little dealer badge on the back, and the price is a little bit higher than I'd want it to be for a 2010. But yeah, I'd put this on the short list for sure, because I'm sure I can negotiate that down a little bit. So yeah, I would definitely look at this one further. 2010 MR, 35,770 miles, 24.9. Better miles, but we're going a little bit higher on the price. Got the factory wheels. Does still look like it has the two-piece rotors. It's been lowered. Yeah. Got all the badging plus one of those dealer bonus badges again. It's got an exhaust. And got a wide band. Bass stereo, but it had the sub. You don't see that as often. Yeah, AMS upper piping, looks like lower piping. Intake, something to do. I think that's just the fact. I think that's what was missing on the first car that we looked at, or one of the early ones. I think the red cover was just missing. Never really know what people are doing, why their filters get all bent up. Exhaust is AMS as well, so it looks like mostly AMS parts. I'd be curious if AMS did the tuning or anything. Forgot to look. It's got the window sticker. That's nice. And it's got mirrors. Okay, that's good. Oh, Wisconsin. So yeah, that's pretty close. Well, I don't know where Beaver Dam, Wisconsin is, but Wisconsin as a state is relatively close to Chicago. So yeah, I'd want the price to be a little bit better. I'd be more curious on where the mods came from, but if the mods check out, they're good mods. Yeah, I mean, I'd put this on the short list just because of its proximity to AMS, the fact that they're good parts, low mileage. Yeah, I mean, so I live in Cincinnati. It's not a, I mean, Chicago's not even that long of a drive. Now, Wisconsin, I don't know where this is in Wisconsin, so it's probably flying material. But yeah, I don't know. If I was shopping for an MR, I'd have to negotiate this price down a little bit, I think. Mods or not. But yeah, I would maybe put this on my short list, even if it meant flying a little bit to do it. Assuming everything checked out with the mods and AMS and everything. 25,000, private seller, 55,000 miles. Front end's been all blacked out. Wheels have been changed. Might have an exhaust. Can't tell. There's only 3 pictures. How are you going to be a private seller and put 3 photos up? It says as AMS intercooler. It says, I assume Ray, RE30 means Rays, like wheels. Olin, coilovers. Complete shock service 200 miles ago. Okay. Cob tuning, access point. It says it has Opticode on it. Most services done by my friend shop, Evasive. Don't know anything about that. I always get concerned when it's their friend's shop, though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't love it. I mean, California, that's a hike for me. So me personally, I'm not going to fly to California for this car. If you're in California, you can get this price down a little bit. Maybe if you can check it out in person. You know, this Evasive whatever shop, they may be a great shop. I don't know anything about them, but yeah, Me personally, I'm going to pass, but if you're in that West Coast mountain time zone type thing, yeah, I could see maybe investigating it a little bit further if you can get some more than 3 photos. All right, 2010, $25,000 again, 47,000 miles, so less miles. Private seller again. Oh, and on that last car, if those are like raised wheels, then I gotta imagine you can sell those for a decent amount. So while I don't like them, if you can sell them for $1,000 or $2,000, then yeah, I mean that obviously helps. Personally, I'd rather just have the price lower and the actual wheels. A nice little Merc in the background there. Let's see, factory wheels, appears to be factory suspension. It's got the GPS. Michelin tires. That's it. What's the deal with all these short pictures? This is pretty much going to fall into the same, and it's in California again. Pretty much everything I said about the last car. I actually like this one better already. Being stock, yeah, I mean, you can sell the wheels and the parts, so, I mean, you'd have to be more vigilant. You could potentially get a better deal with the last one we just looked at. But this is, if you're new to Evos and you want to make sure you're more worried about the reliability, which really, when you're buying a 10, you really should be. I'd say this in the long term might be a better option. If you're willing to take that more of a chance with the parts and everything, you might technically get a better deal with this one above it because you could sell some of those parts. Because assuming you bought both of them, both at $25,000, used parts are usually maybe half value or so depending on the parts. So you're probably looking at about $1,000 or so in the AMS parts. The wheels you could probably sell for maybe $1,000 or so. I don't know much about wheels, maybe more. So I mean, you could come out ahead on that, and then assuming you might be able to even negotiate lower, you could do better. Or if you are going to want a modded Evo, I always like Buescher, but I have no problem with AMS. They're a great company, so they're good products if you're going to go that route. So it could save you money too. All right, last one, 30,009. No, I don't care that you have 11,000 miles. This is near me. Sorta, it's like a couple hours away. Okay. But no, it's been lowered. It's got some silly sticker down there. Front end looks pretty stock. Why did you chrome the mirror caps? Why do people do that? It's got the factory badging. Oop, covered up his license plate. That's good. You wouldn't want anybody to know your license plate, even though you drive around in public every day. It's got the upgraded shift knob and handbrake handle. Yep, it is a Touring, so it should have the sunroof. Yep. Got the GPS. I guess they put in like a rear strut bar. I think that's actually the OEM red ones that you could buy for the 2015s. I think that's what that piping is. It's severely overpriced. All it is just red. Or they took their factory stuff and painted it red. Now this cross beam here, this is different. It's missing the battery cover too. And they installed a rear view camera in the mirror. Okay. There's also something over here as well. I can't really make it out in the photo. Yeah, that's just factory. Yeah, it's got the aero package and all that. It's got a clutch kit. Okay. MS transcooler. Buescher double pump. 1000cc. Why would you live that close to Buescher, get some Buescher, and then get a Cobb cat back? I don't know. Swift lowering springs. Okay, well, at least Swift is a good brand. Had trans work done by Shep, which is good that it was done by Shep, but why did it need trans? Yeah, engine appearance package. Yeah, they bought that. That's what that was. Dyno tuned at Redline Tuning. Why? Why would you tune that when you live like less than 2 hours from Buescher? That makes no sense to me. I don't know. I mean, maybe that place is a good, maybe they are, but how you can live that close to what is arguably one of the best tuning shops for Evos in the world and not go there. It boggles my mind. Okay. Yeah, I mean, regardless of all this stuff, 30,000 is just no. Because yeah, I mean, 11,000 is low miles, but you can get 2014s with pretty low mileage too. Maybe not 10,000 miles or 11,000. So yeah, I mean, if he wants to come to his senses and drop that by like $5,000, maybe. If you really want a low mileage 2010. All right, so that finishes out the 2010s. All right, moving right along into the 2011s. 18.7, 105,000 miles. Let's see. It's got some weird wheels. Appears to kind of be lowered. It's got something going on with the trunk lip there. Something's weird with the front lip here. It looks dented or bent or something. This has been swapped out, this front beam here. It's got like a carbon look to it, so does the badging. Let's see. All the badging's gone on the back. It looks like they also shaded. This might be like an aftermarket trunk altogether. I think it is. We've got an exhaust. Some awful, ugly wheels. They're not even like, they're like universal style wheels too. Under the hood looks pretty stock. So yeah, I mean, I'm not loving this car. Not with over 100,000 miles. They want almost 19K. This isn't like crazy distance for me, but I'm gonna pass on this personally. Maybe if this is in your backyard and you can get them to come down some, maybe, but those wheels don't look like to be worth much. I don't know what's going on with the trunk here. I don't know what's going on with the front lip there. There's just too many unknowns that I would definitely put this in the I'm desperate pile. In other words, no. So let's see, 81,000 miles, 19.6. Appears to be all stock in the front. Got the wheels, got factory suspension. It's got the badging, factory exhaust. It's got the upgraded shift ball, but not the brake handle. Maybe that's where that one went. Yeah, couldn't tell if the front brakes were the original. There was nothing other than the price that turns me off on this car, the price for the miles. But if you're in Tustin, California, yeah, it might be worth checking out. I wouldn't be flying to like check this car out, but if you're in that area, there's nothing immediately that alarms me with it. This has been wrapped. I'm not buying a wrapped car. Aside from the fact that I don't like the way that looks, even if I did like the way that looked, I'm still not going to buy a wrapped car because unless you know the owner and saw the car before it was wrapped, who knows what's under there? I'm just not going to deal with that. 2011 MR, 34,000 miles, 21.9. Okay, and this is actually near me. Actually, I think one of you guys contacted me on this specific car. Not to give that person any competition, but showing the underneath is what they're doing, and then that's the underneath of the front. Took me a minute to realize what that was. I thought they were showing me the exhaust on and off at first. It's actually, if I recall, pretty stock looking. It's got all the factory badges, the exhaust. Suspension appears to be stock. It's got the upgraded brake handle and shift knob, but it's got the base seats. Yeah, I would definitely, basically what I told him, there's nothing that alarms me from this car. It's all stock under the hood looking. I mean, obviously any used car you want to get checked out, but honestly, even the price is good. I mean, assuming the title's clear and all that good stuff. Yeah, there's nothing that turns me off from this car, period. Pretty much if you're looking for an Evo X MR and you're willing to fly, then this should be on your short list of cars to look at. Don't get on a plane until maybe you get some videos of it or have it checked out locally, have a PPI or something done. But yeah, I mean, it looks pretty solid just on paper anyways. If I was actually shopping for an Evo right now, I'd probably stop what I'm doing and go look at it, because this is in my backyard basically. Let's see. Here we are, $21,995, so $1 more, 70,000+ more miles. I've seen this dealership before, and I don't think I really cared for the last time they had one. Brake calipers have been painted. These are GSR wheels. The side vents have been painted or changed, swapped, something. Part of the badging's missing. Interior looks mostly stock. It's got this silly little button again. I feel like that same dealership had this silly little button. I'm wondering if they're showing the same interior on both pictures or something, or both cars. I don't know. I don't really care because I don't really like this car. I didn't really like the last one because I'm not doing whatever that button is. Oh, and it's missing TPS sensors. Yeah, that's a couple $100 plus labor, just FYI. They're probably on the BBS wheels that they traded out or sold right before trading this car in. Yep, I'm going to pass on this. It's overpriced, too many miles. There's one picture, and it's the size of my mouse, so I'm not dealing with that. 2011, 42,000 miles, 25.6. Not as good a price as the one near me, but not terrible. It's what negotiating is for. Looks to be maybe lower, definitely lowered a little bit. Side vents are black. It's got an exhaust. The badging's gone. It doesn't have two-piece rotors anymore. It doesn't seem. Yeah, so I mean, they want a little bit more miles. That's not too bad. You'd need to know more about the mods. If you're in the Minnesota area, I'd probably put this on my list to check out. You're definitely going to want to make sure the suspension's okay. You're going to want to check out this exhaust and this tune. So, I mean, bear in mind it is a lightly modded car, it appears to be, but if you can get that price down a little bit, yeah, it's worth looking at, especially if you want red. There's not as many red ones, it seems. 2011, 45,000 miles, 26.9. Again, with the weird pictures, and that just makes it worse. And the car's changed. If you're selling a car, don't show it with different pictures with different parts. Because now we have different wheels. I mean, are you showing that it has winter wheels with it, and then we're different wheels again? Oh, geez. Adjusted market price, dealer profit, like $3,000 it looks like. Oh my gosh, I hope you didn't pay that, buddy. It's got some upper intercooler piping, an intake, and a lot of dirt. Interior looks a little dirty too. Looks like it's like Southern car, probably a lot of dust and dirt and everything. Okay, and now the car's yellow. And now it's silver. Yellow? Upside down yellow? Upside down yellow? Guys, it's not that hard to do a proper Auto Trader listing. They make it pretty easy. I'm going to probably pass on this. Aside from the fact that it's overpriced, it's got a lot of weird things. It's insanely filthy. They paid $3,000 over sticker, it looks like, which is, oh my gosh, you shouldn't even have paid sticker. Unless you're in the Albuquerque area, I'm going to say no. I wouldn't waste any time on this one. 20,000 miles, 27.5. I was about to say this might be interesting until I saw the bumper and the stickers. And the fenders are changed, and the wheels, and the... Oh, geez, buddy, what are you doing? Oh, it's just not good. Oh, now we're slammed on the stock wheels. Okay, so we've changed wheels again. And we changed back. Okay. The GPS unit, obviously. Got AMS piping. Looks like it's been anodized black. I'm not sure what you're showing me here. Is that maybe supposed to be a front mount or something? Oh, we got performance numbers. Okay. Don't really care. Yeah, did you see the front end? If you need more sense than that, we're just going to go with no. Because they've probably cut it up and everything to do that. The fenders, it's just no. I'm not going to deal with that. There's too many other decent to good cars. This car has been wrapped or painted or something weird. Just no. Maybe if they want to come like $7,000 off. What do we got here? I've got some weird hood. Got a front lip. Got some different wheels. Got some black side vents. Got a massive wing that they bolted on. Are these actually Volk wheels? If so, at least you could sell them, get some of your money back. It does appear to have the two-piece rotors. Interior looks relatively clean. If it is actually an APR wing, you could probably sell that for some money, although you're going to have holes in your trunk, so you really got to like that wing. The antenna's bent for some reason. It's got vortex generators added. I mean, that's a really cheap sub, but at least they put it in a nice enclosure. It's not a bad sub, though. I actually had that same one in the wife's old Civic for a while. So, I mean, for a cheap sub, it's like 70, 80 bucks. I don't know that it was necessarily better than the factory one, though, to be honest. AMS piping, AMS intake. Got a bunch of carbon bits here. Oh, wow. The AMS front mount illuminates red. That's very... Yeah. Oh, okay. This is actually factory, believe it or not, that blue lighting. Well, I take it back. I couldn't see from the picture to be certain, but it most likely is. If you're okay with the wing and you can verify the... it does seem at least like their parts are good. It says they're seep-in carbon parts. Apparently you're supposed to ask for Mike at Road Racing Engineer. Whatever that means. The fact remains that even given the low mileage, this thing is really expensive. You're paying a premium for that mileage, so unless you're not going to even drive it that much, you're going to lose that premium immediately. If I'm in this area, maybe. I'm not going to fly for this car. There's too much going on. I don't want to mess with it. If I'm local and I can check this out, I know somebody locally that I can trust to check this out. If they've got the stock parts, you've got to be happy with that APR wing, or else you're going to have to pay a body shop to fill in those holes. I don't like the wheels, but if they're real Volk wheels, you could sell them. So, yeah, I would say this is really going to depend on your location and checking it out. All right. No price. Awesome. But I will say it's got 44,000 miles. Suspension appears to be stock. Wheels are there. Exhaust is stock. It's missing the Mitsubishi badge. Not a big deal. It does still have two-piece rotors. Interior, other than being a little photoshopped, looks pretty clean. I certainly wouldn't call them for the price, but you could email them and just see. Given that it looks pretty stock and that it, I would definitely, if the price is right, yeah, it's really the only thing that you got to know on this car. I don't know. I mean, it annoys me that dealers do that. I don't know what their thought process is behind that, because I just want to know what the price is. So you're going to tell me a price and I'm going to say, okay, thanks. Then what? What are you going to do? You're going to call me back? Well, I'm not going to be stupid enough to call you from my own number. You're going to email me back? That's fine. I can easily filter your emails out. You're going to say, hold on, let me ask you some questions. No, I'm just going to hang up. You're going to say, hold on, before I get the price, let me ask you some questions. No, I'm just going to hang up. So whatever. I don't like this dealership already, but the car itself looks pretty good if you can get it for a good price. So I don't know what that price is going to be, what they're going to come at. I mean, it needs to be under 25 for sure. But it does look all stock, so I'd definitely put that on the short list, even if you have to travel. All right, now we're going to do the 2012s. There's only 6 of them, and this first one doesn't have a picture. All right, 2012, 15,800 miles, 23,000. Promising, other than the insane amount of photoshopping going on here. And you can't tell, they've softened everything, so you can't tell what kind of shape the body's in. I don't know why people do this stuff. Yeah, that looks like a real sky and grass, I'm sure. Let's see. So far, everything looks stock, which is good. Appears to be a touring package, and it also appears that they've have that. Yep. So here you go. Here's where you start seeing this. First of all, it does have the upgraded shift knob e-brake handle. It does have the heated seats, which it should be in a touring, but the Recaros are gone. Now, I will say their price is decent, so maybe they understand that. Well, see, there they are though. And now the Recaros are back. What are we doing here? Oh, it's salvage. Yep. Nope. Never mind. Just pass on it. No. If you live like in that city and you've got a frame shop that you can trust and stuff, and you can get this for several $1,000s less than this, maybe. Let's see. 2012, 23.8, 59,000 miles. Front end's been blacked out. Looks like it's been lowered. Appears to be a touring package. It's got the badging. It's got an exhaust system. It does look lowered. I think I said that. And all the pictures are gone. Awesome. Oh, hey, this is real close to me too. So yeah, if I'm shopping for an Evo, because it's so close to me, I may go check it out. But this thing has been like slammed. So I'm going to need to get it for a lot less than this, probably at least a few grand. If this is not in your backyard, I wouldn't mess with it. 2012, $40,739, $25,000. Looks to be all stock. Looks to be somebody using a real camera, but not photoshopping, which I'm super happy about. Actually see the car. Yep, got the stock suspension. It's got the 2-piece rotors. Obviously, with this many miles, you gotta figure they've probably been swapped or replaced at some point. So definitely check that. It depends on how you drive it. Our rotors were pretty much toast at 30,000 miles, and I know it wasn't from my wife driving it, and I didn't drive it that much. So it's got to be the previous owner was a little rough on the brakes. Maybe not letting them cool properly after being hard on them. Does appear to have an exhaust. I can't be certain. Now see, that's the blue LED. That's certainly factory LED lighting. Why are you showing me that? Oh, you're showing me some sort of fuel pump or something, aren't you? Yeah, okay. Upper inner piping and intake. Looks like maybe some lower piping. Gosh, I was so close to loving this car. The SST has been rebuilt 5,000 miles ago. gosh, I don't know anything about that shop, but the SST, you really got to know what you're doing. There's only a couple shops I know of that offhand, maybe they do know what they're doing, but I would definitely be cautious of that. Why you'd spend all that money on a transmission, then leave the motor mostly stock? Were you beaten up on the car? Like, there's no reason to rebuild that transmission for the mods that you have. There's also no reason to have a fuel pump really in this car with the mods that you have. Why do you have a tile blow up? This is some poor mod list. Yeah, I'm gonna pass on this car, honestly. If you're in the Austin area and you want to research that shop and really inspect the car and have it checked out, maybe. I definitely probably want to get that price down a little bit, but I'm certainly not gonna fly for that car. 38,000 miles, 29,000. No, we're overpriced already, and the wheels are missing. Oh, wait, but this is in Hawaii. Okay, so that kind of changes everything. You know, it doesn't even really matter what this car has. It's got an ETS front mount. I don't know what those wheels are. The badging's gone. It's got an aftermarket exhaust. It's got vortex generators. It's got the shift knob, but not the e-brake handle. It does appear to be a touring package. It's got the GPS. ETS upper intercooler piping intake. So I mean, you're on an island there, so I don't know how many Evos are for sale in Hawaii, but honestly, I feel like you got to look at all of them. Because if you're actually in Hawaii watching this video, then I say you probably got to go for it and check it out. And as long as it checks out, you might just have to go with it. It doesn't look terrible. It wouldn't be my first choice, and the price is a little high for being in the continental states, but again, you're in Hawaii, so it's not like you can just, I mean, yeah, you can fly to another state and buy a car, but then you got to ship it back home, so that's going to add a lot of cost and time and effort. So yeah, that's probably a decent price, honestly. Supposedly an MR Touring, and they think they want 36,000. Good luck. Appears to be stock, all the badging, the exhaust, header plate. These pictures are over a year old, year and a half old though, so you're gonna have to confirm that. Doesn't really do me any good. I mean, you're like showing me pictures like when you bought the car or something. This doesn't help me at all. I have no idea what kind of shape the car's in now. Hey, you showed me a picture with a plate. Okay, now I know who you are, I guess. Extremely mint. How do I know it's mint? Like, you showed me pictures from a year and a half ago. Regardless, even if it is a good shape car, I mean, from the pictures that are a year and a half old, yeah, it does look like a good car. They're showing it as a storage unit. Maybe they just keep it in storage. You do have to watch that because things can go bad with storage cars. So honestly, I'd rather have a car that's been driven a little bit more personally. But that being said, you know, regardless, that price has to come down. So if you're in the Austin area, if you're not in the Austin area, you're going to need to negotiate that price down lower and definitely get a PPI. If it's stock, you know, just get it from Mitsubishi because it's been sitting for so long. Stress that it's been sitting, you know, they should check that stuff anyways. But if that's the case and you can negotiate a price, or I guess if you just really want a low mileage car, then, you know, it's got to be one of the lowest ones out there. All right, that's it for the 2012s. All right, 2013s, 22.5, 82,000 miles. Appears to be all stock so far. It's got vortex generators now. It's got ETS sticker. Those weren't there a second ago. Don't know why people do that. Like, if you're going to sell your car, I mean, everybody's got a camera phone. You've got iPhones and Androids. All you need is pick a day. You know, don't do it in direct sunlight. So do it at, you know, near sunrise or sunset or on an overcast day. And just go out and take a few photos. Like, it's not a big deal. It does appear to be a touring package. This looks like brand new, so I'm wondering if they're the original owner and they're showing you pictures of when it was brand new, because there's no way this interior looks this way at 82,000 miles. It's just not possible. The steering wheel's, no, it just doesn't look that way. Okay. Yeah, one owner. Yes, they're showing you pictures from when they bought the car 3-4 years ago, 80,000 miles ago. So you're gonna need some way more updated photos, and the price is, it's a little high. If I can get some updated photos, make sure there's, I don't know, it doesn't list any mods, but it has an ETS sticker. So was it modded then put back to stock? So I don't know, get some better pictures if you're interested in this car. You know, watch my video on checking for mods if you want to see, because I find it hard. They have ETS stickers, but then they say no mods. So is it no mods now? You know, I don't know. Not sure. Tread with caution, but it could be worth looking at. All right, half the mileage, not much more expensive. And this is in Atlanta, so it's not even that far away. It's got chromed mirror caps. Don't know why people do that. Does look like the paint's been softened, like through Photoshop or something. Yet there's still a scratch there. You got badging, and then they put their own dealer badge, but they put their own dealer badge on crooked. Awesome. Windows are tinted. That's typical for Southern cars. Suspension looks stock. It's got the touring package. Got the factory LEDs. Got GPS. Got the shift knob, the brake handle. Let's see. No engine picks or anything. Yeah, I mean, I've gone to Atlanta once to buy a car. That's where my RS came from. The price and the mileage, not terrible. You know, we're in the ballpark for sure. I'd want some better pictures, some unedited pictures. I'd want that stupid dealer tag badge off the car. But yeah, I'd definitely put this on your short list for sure. Let's see, 24.5, so we're going up in miles and up in price. That's cool. It does look like stock suspension. It's got the BBS wheels. Taillights have been swapped. Badging is missing. Looks like it's got an exhaust. This is why you shouldn't take pictures in when it's sunny out, because you get all these shadows. Looks like we've got, yeah, stock suspension. It really does look like it. Can't tell if those are the two-piece rotors still. The horn's been changed. The front mount's been changed. Yeah, definitely stock suspension. Yep, definitely touring package. You're going to need to know more about the mods. You're going to need to know, well, the price is too high, first of all. I mean, obviously, we just looked at one with a lot less miles, also a touring package, and cheaper. And that one was stock, and this one's got mods, so I always value the stock ones higher. We don't know anything about the mods, so if you're in the West Coast, is in Oregon, I would definitely check it out. You know, you need to get the price down a little bit. You need to investigate the mods, but yeah, I'd put it on your short list. Especially if you don't want to fly to Atlanta and you live in Oregon. I totally understand that. All right. 25.4, 45,000 miles. Okay, so at least we're getting back in the right direction here. Looks to be stock suspension. It's got the BBS wheels. Got all the badging. Stock exhaust. Go back. Rotors have been swapped out. They're no longer two-piece rotors. Got the LEDs. It's got the shift ball and the brake handle. Yeah, I mean, the price needs to come down a little bit. The brakes have been swapped. Use that as part of your negotiating. Oh, again, we're in Hawaii. Yeah. Wow, there's two at least for sale in Hawaii. I struggle to remember the last one in Hawaii, but I know it was a lot more than this, so I'm already leaning towards this one if you're in Hawaii. 25.9, 72,000 miles. Is it blue? Yep. It's got a front lip. It's been slammed. It's got stock badging plus, again, one of those fancy dealer badges, and that's it. It's got an exhaust. No more pictures. Oh well, it's been slammed. It's got mileage. The price is too high. Hot car. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if this is in your backyard, I mean, there's nothing like that. Just no, I can't even consider this car, but I wouldn't be traveling to check out this car. You definitely gotta get that price down. 38,000 miles, 26.5. Price is a little high, but that's what negotiating's for. It's got the touring. It's got some mods. Look like Cobb upper intercooler piping, maybe an AEM intake. Got the BBS wheels. Might be lowered, can't really tell. Oh, wow. It's got a cat back. Got a bunch of mods and stuff. Don't know why you put new spark plugs in it, but okay. You don't need laser iridium spark plugs on an Evo. Just get the OEM plugs. They're the best ones. All seasons for the winter in stock wheel size. Why would you buy all seasons for the winter? Buy winter for the winter. I wouldn't overlook it. There's some things that obviously you gotta confirm with the mods, make sure it's okay. Looks like you're in Chicago, so at least you could maybe go by AMS or something. I don't know if he's just overselling it or what. I mean, the way he talks like it's this like super expensive stuff, but I mean, his price isn't terrible. It's not the best we've seen, but it's in the range. So I don't really care for a lot of those parts. Maybe you can sell them. And then last but not least, we have one that's way overpriced. 23,000 miles for 35,000 in Florida. What is it with you people in Florida? Okay, looks pretty stock in the front. The wheels have been changed. It's got the badging. The exhaust has been changed. We've got some gauges and a shift light. GPS, touring package, shift knob and e-brake handle. And there's all the mods. Wow. Okay. There's a lot. We've got headers. We've got upper intercooler piping. We've got intake. We've got lower intercooler piping. The plastic cover's removed, but yeah, I bet there's a huge mod list with this. Tile blow-off valve, it looks like. Fully built motor, it says. But who was it built by? You can watch my more performance in Virginia. Built and tuned the car. You live in Florida and you sent it to Virginia. Sometimes it just boggles my mind. Like, why would you not just go to like all-wheel drive or something down in Florida? I don't know, maybe you lived in Florida at the time. You can watch my opinion on buying cars with built motors. I'm not for it, but I'm especially not for it by shops I've never heard of. So yeah, I'm going to say no on that car. Okay, on to the 2014s, which is my favorite year. Not because I owned one, but I owned one because it was my favorite year. And it is the last year of the Recaros. So in my opinion, it's the newest Evo you can get with that's proper. So first up, 82,000 miles. All right, I like the price so far. It's in Lexington, which isn't too far from me. It's white, which I'm always a fan of. Everything looks stock so far, other than the hood vent was black. It's got the BBS wheels. It's got one of those fancy dealer badges that I love so much. Why dealers think that's acceptable? That I want to advertise for you for free for the rest of my life of owning this car. Yeah, so they painted this intake and they painted the hood vents or something, but you can already tell it's kind of chipping. Yep, touring package. Got the GPS. Got the factory LEDs. It seems to have pretty much every option except for the e-brake handle and the shift knob. So yeah, I mean, especially given how close it is to me, I'd certainly look at it more. Even if you have to fly, I mean, given that the price, assuming the title and all that's checked out, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good starting point. You got a couple little scratches or hood nicks to fix, which I will say that even just because that hood vent is chipped, it doesn't necessarily mean it was painted poorly, because even the factory ones do that, which we all know are painted poorly. So yeah, maybe it is painted poorly. I don't know. All right, 8,600 miles, 22,000. So a person who doesn't want a $10,000 premium for low miles. So I'm curious if this is a salvage or anything. Assuming this isn't a salvage, this is already on my short list. We've got the front end. It's got a little blacked out. It's got the factory wheels. Suspension seems to be okay. It's not a touring package, which honestly I prefer. It's got the factory suspension. It does appear to have the proper two-piece brakes. It's got all the badging, factory exhaust. Windows are tinted. That's fine, although it looks like it's just the back ones. It's got the mid-tier stereo. That's fine. It's got the LED lighting. Yep, two-piece stock motor. Yeah, assuming the title and everything checks out on the history on this car, yeah. Now it says 10,000 miles. Yeah, I would definitely check it out. I mean, you always want to be cautious, make sure, but maybe it's because it's Utah and there's not a lot of demand right now or something, but that's definitely one where the dealership seems to be offering a reasonable price. Let's see, 2014, 62,000 miles, 23.8. Okay. Tennessee, not too far from me. I went to Tennessee for the FJ. Let's see, actually go back. Yep, these have been painted. It looks like the headlights have been tinted. It's got some window louvers. I don't really care about that. It appears to be in neutral right now. Is it sitting there or something? I'm not really sure. All the badging's there. Looks pretty stock under the hood. It's got the two-piece rotors. Yep, I'd put that on your short list. I'd want the price maybe a little bit better, but it doesn't have to be crazy amount better, especially if this was like in your back door or backyard, I mean. 24.9. It's got some ugly wheels already. Apparently it's at their Westfield location. Good to know. Let's see. It's got some aftermarket wheels that stick out. Is that rubbing? Do they have wheel spacers? Either way, I'm not liking it. Got an exhaust. All the badging is gone. Does appear to have the stock suspension. Did it have the stock suspension though? Has that been swapped? A lot of times when people do wheels and stuff like that. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, if I'm actually looking to buy this car, I do appreciate the detailed photos, but I wish they would just do like some overview photos first and then put all these little details at the end. So you're definitely going to want to check out the suspension more. Obviously, it's got some light modding, so you'll want to investigate that further. Also, be mindful that it is at the Westfield location as opposed to whatever the other location is. But it does seem to be in the ballpark. So I'd want to know more about the hood. I doubt they have the original hood. Maybe that hood's, check it out, see if that's worth anything. Whether you like it or not, you want to make sure it's a good one, make sure it lines up and everything. See, there's that weird one again. All right, 26,000, 46,000 miles. Oh, we got the air canards. Oh, we've got, that's pretty rare. If that's what I think it is. No, I don't think that's what I think it is. That's just I was thinking something else. That's just for taking the bumper on and off a lot easily, which means they take this bumper off a lot probably, which means they raced it probably. So I'm going to say no. It's got some terrible back bumper too, and look, you can see the old owner's Instagram. Got some vortex generators. So at least with that, I mean, you could contact the old owner and see what was really done. Maybe check out their Instagram and stuff. That alone actually kind of changes my opinion on the car a little bit. Then I can maybe do some of my own research, because typically once somebody's already sold a car, they're going to be brutally honest with it. They may even have some of the original parts. Street culture, okay. So yeah, I mean, if you can get in contact with that previous owner, find out more about it, maybe check through their Instagram and such, maybe, and you like the way it looks, this is definitely a love or hate it. I'm definitely closer towards the hate camp on this. It's just too much. There's too much going on. But yeah, maybe we'll see. Let's see, 2014, obviously, 26.7, 74,000 miles, back to the blue. This looks just like the one I had. Let's see. Except they got goofy little chrome mirror caps for some reason. Mine had 19,000 miles, probably should have kept it. Let's see. It's got the factory badging plus one of those fancy dealer badges. Doesn't even look like the windows are tinted. Factory exhaust, suspension, all there. Got some snow tires. Got the original two-piece rotors, or maybe not the original, but it does have two-piece rotors. Let's see. Is this a Touring? Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah. It's got the sunroof and everything. Mine was not a Touring. Got the shift ball and e-brake handle. Looks pretty stock under the hood. Got a little photoshopping going on. No warranty. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how they were sold new. The price is a little high for the mileage for sure. But if you can get this down a couple grand, yeah, I'd definitely look more into it. No picture, we're going to skip it. 28,488, 39,000 miles. Getting awfully high on the price for the miles. Got a front lip of some sort. Side vents have been blacked. Obviously, it's got the BBS wheels. Trunk's been swapped. Exhaust has been changed. So I actually like carbon trunks. Under the hood looks pretty stock, but I'm leery about buying one with a carbon trunk. Those are one of those mods. Anytime body panels are changed, because like I've mentioned in previous videos, my father-in-law owns a frame shop, and he did my bumper, my JDM bumper, and it was OEM, from Japan, from Mitsubishi, and there's still that stuff doesn't always come out perfect and stuff, and you're putting it on a car that's used, it's been driven for years, and just lots of little weird things that it makes me concerned. I would just be really, really vigilant about checking that stuff out is all I'm saying, really. Other than that, I don't see anything drastically that tells me run and hide from this car, but it wouldn't be on my short list. Plus, I don't like silver or technically that's gray, but that light gray, I'm not a huge fan of that. Stock photo, I'm not really going to look at it. I will say that, oh, it's a Carvana. I wonder if it actually has pictures. They might. Yeah, it does. Okay. This is kind of interesting because you can like pick it up yourself. Got that little machine. Touring package. Yeah, except the pictures suck. I will say, based on the miles and the price, it's not terrible. I don't think you can really negotiate with them. If you're in the Salem, North Carolina area, yeah, I mean, the price is a little higher than I'd want because that's not much more than I paid for mine a couple years ago, but, or I mean, that's not much less, but yeah, I mean, they'll deliver it to you, so I think they charge for that, or I don't know, it might be free, I can't remember. So we'll put that as a maybe. On to this one. Gosh, we got a tow hook. We've got everything blacked out. We've got a lip. I don't think it looks good when they black out on white cars and then put white. It just looks like a massive black hole. But anyways, that's more opinion than anything. The roof has some sort of weird vinyl thing going on here. They did the little, let me paint my wheels. Blacked out the vents. All the badging is gone. It's got double wing. Hood vents are blacked out. Oh yeah, we got all kinds of patterns and stuff. Yeah, no thanks. Does still have the two-piece rotors. Gotta figure they've been swapped out at least once, hopefully. Oh, and they stole the seats out. Yeah, this thing was overpriced before they stole the seats. That's where somebody had a friend or something and swapped them their seats. And we've got some intercooler piping. Yeah, I've lost interest in this car. If this is in like your backyard and you can get this for several $1,000s less, like maybe like 23, 24 maybe, but those Recaros, they're a couple grand easily, and this is a Touring, so you're gonna need the all leather ones. There's probably gonna be less of those for sale. Yeah, so that price is just way too high. Good price, yeah, right. 2014 28.9, 38,000 miles, great price. This is not a great price. This is a terrible price. I don't know what front end we've got going on here. That is awful. We've got some side skirts going. We've got terrible picture quality. We do have an AMS front mount. It does look like stock exhaust. Badging's all there. Brakes are looking a little rough. Could just be the photoshopping. It's a Touring package. My concern is, was this car wrecked? Under the hood looks pretty stock. It's got an AMS front mount, so at least that's something, but then there's no other mods under the hood. That's weird, so it makes me think this is like a front end collision or something, and they took the insurance money, got a different bumper, got an AMS front mount, decided to do some weird stuff with it, so I'd say no on this. Alright, 26,900 miles. It's only 3 photos. Okay, it looks pretty stock from the 3 photos. Looks like it has the GPS. Yeah, I mean, you can't tell much from 3 pictures other than it's been slammed. And the side vents have been painted or changed and windows have been tinted. But given the lower mileage, the price is not great. I'd like it a little lower. It's not terrible. We're at least getting in the right range. If you want white and you can negotiate this down some, I would probably put this on my shorter list to try, but it might get weeded out real quick when they respond to some of the questions, especially if they're pretty firm on the price. All right, $32,000 for 29,000 miles. We are going the wrong way, and we've got a front mount. It is blue. It's a Touring package, and we've got some upper intercooler piping, some other blue piping. Got some weird stuff going on back here. Not sure. Got an intake. I've pretty much already lost interest in this car. It does have the factory wheels. Got a tow hook in the back. Got an exhaust. It's been lowered or something. tell on those brakes if those are the two-piece rotors or not. They look like it. Factory wheels have been painted or something. Oh, this car's just no. I'm good. Oh, and we got gauges. Yeah, I'm out. I have no interest in this car for that kind of money. And that's the rest of the pictures. Okay, so that ends the 2014s. All right, last and certainly least is the 2015s. So, if you don't know, I'm not a huge fan of the 2015s. I don't like the way Mitsubishi did it, but we'll still burn through them real quick here. Really, with a 2015, the only reason to buy a 2015, in my opinion, is if it's stock, because you're better off to spend less money and get a 2014 with the Recaros. That being said, let's go ahead through them. So 2015, 42,000 miles, 26.5. Doesn't seem like a terrible price, I'll be honest. Let's see. It's got the touring package. Kind of looks like the brakes have already been swapped to non-two-piece rotors. Side vents have been swapped. We've got some photoshopping going here, though. Yeah, see, those rotors have been swapped in the back, too. They're slotted. I don't think the fronts were slotted. Makes me think that probably when they traded them in, even the fronts were, again, worn out, maybe, and the dealer swapped in some other ones again. Yeah, there's your non-Recaros. Don't see any. There we go. Looks pretty stock under there so far. The brake issue concerns me. What's going on with that? Was it just branded title? There we go. Yep, that's been wrecked. Nope. Pass. $27,000, 67,000 miles. Let's see. Side vents are black. It's got the lip on the trunk. It's got the vortex generators. I think that's that does not look like stock exhaust. Gosh. Okay, great. I'm gonna go with no, probably. I mean, the price isn't terrible, but there's some mods going on. It's got a lot of miles. Yeah, I'm not liking it. 27.9. No, I don't know. What do you? I take it back. I'll take the red one. This is not good. Oh, look, we got the interior to match, and we got boost gauge. We got gauges. No, not dealing with that for 2015. If I already got to deal with replacing the seats, I'm not going to deal with replacing all that stupid stuff. Let's see, 27.9, 53,000 miles. Got the lip. Got some headlight eyelashes or something, eyelids. I don't know why people do that. It's been slammed down on something. It's got an exhaust. It's got one of those dealer badges, it looks like. Yep. So far you've shown me one little picture of the engine bay, and all it was the okay, so you're showing me some sort of mod. Is that the exhaust? I don't know what you're showing me there. I mean, I'm all for close-up photos, but geez, give me some sort of context. Okay, I'm assuming that's a cop intake. It does still have the two-piece rotors. I mean, it's not slammed, but it's definitely lowered. Okay, yeah, got an intake for sure. I'm guessing that other picture was of the exhaust, maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's the price is too high for what I would want for a 15. You know, if this was a 2014, I'd honestly consider it more personally, because I mean, think about it. If you pay the same price for a 2014 and you sell your cars for a couple of grand, well, now you're $2,000 cheaper. So you really can't pay the same amount for a 2015 that you should for a 2014. Every time it's the same dealer. You can see like the background, how it does things. So I'm just not even gonna mess with them. Let's see, we got the blue. So far so good. Stock wise, wheels, suspension. Thankfully nobody swapped out the stock seats. Yeah, it even had a little sticker on the dash, although it does look like the brake rotors have been swapped out. Got all the badging plus a bonus dealer sticker. And that's it for pictures. Yeah, I mean, if you really want a 2015, it's not terrible. We need to get that stupid dealer sticker off and double check the brakes. Use that for negotiating. Again, I want this for cheaper though, personally. But if you really want a 2015, it's probably not a terrible deal. 50,000 miles, 28.9, 3 pictures, great. From what I can see, everything looks pretty stock. So really just comes down to if you can get a price that you're happy with. 2015, now we're going up in price and not really down in mileage. I mean, I'll give the dealer credit. They took good solid pictures and they cleaned the car ahead of time. Previous owner had floor mats, the winter ones. That's always a good sign. People care enough to do that stuff. Yeah, I mean, so far this is you know, obviously it's going to come down the price, you know. It's a good point too, you know. They show the key fob. You know, you always want to make sure you have two or factor that into your cost, because things are expensive on any car. Just shy of 31 grand. I definitely don't want to pay 31 grand for 34,000 miles. I will say, at least from the pictures, it's definitely one of the cleaner ones though. So if you want that color, if you want black, if it looks as good in person as it does in the pictures, yeah, I mean, you can always make a car look clean and good, so I wouldn't really pay extra for that necessarily, but I would definitely put that on my shorter list, because if I can get a price that I'm happy with, then yeah. Let's see, this is a better price, a lot less mileage, a little bit more, but I'm sure I can negotiate it down. I like white a lot better anyways. Tinted windows, but stock exhaust, all the stock badging, the BBS wheels. Oh, it's got the touring package. And looks pretty stock and clean underneath. Yeah, you know, price is going to be the main factor, but there's nothing wrong with the car from the looks of it. So if you can get the price down a little bit. Let's see, 31.9, 32,000 miles. The rotors have been swapped out already. They did not appear to be two-piece. What was going on there? Okay, I think it's just the way the picture looks. I thought like the dash was the door was coming apart or something. I mean, when you're dealing with these lower mileage, the newest ones, really comes down to, if there's no mods, then you're just looking for any signs of owner neglect and being rough on the car. But yeah, really, this one's just price again. You know, get the price down. Looks fine. 33,991, 38,000 miles. So price is going in the wrong direction for sure with the mileage. Pictures are terrible quality, but it looks relatively stock other than the wheels being painted black or powder coated or plastic dip something. Most of the badging is gone. I couldn't tell so far if the front rotors have been swapped. It's got the LED lights. You know, that's an option you want. Like navigation. Yeah, I would definitely need to get this price down. I'd want to check how those wheels are done, what was done to them. I'd prefer them not to be messed with, honestly. I'm certainly not going to pay almost $34,000. Speaking of $34,000, but it's got 3,700 miles. I'll at least give it that. I mean, that is pretty close to new at that point. And at least it's one of the lesser common colors. Still got the advents on it, which you would hope at 3,000 miles, but you never know. So this is one of these things, like, if you really still want a virtually new Evo, I mean, it's hard to argue with this. Me personally, I still need this price down. And again, it's like, to me, it's not going to be right without the seats or some sort of sports seat. So you're going to spend another couple grand. And it's like, I mean, yeah, 3,700 miles is nice, but, you know, I can get a 2014 with maybe 20,000 miles. I can clean and polish it, make it look nice anyways, which even this car with 3,000 miles is still going to be swirled to death and everything from the factory. So it's like, that's not really worth a $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 premium to me. If it is to you, then I guess more power to you. At least, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of that color, but at least it is a unique color. I wouldn't want, like, if it was black or gray or something, it's like, they're all that color. So that pretty much does it for the 2015s, other than this one here with no photos. Some sort of, I don't know, that might be a real photo. Yeah, it is. They're just, again, with the photoshopping. Well, we already know based on the one we just looked at that this is overpriced, but it's modded. It's got some badges, it's got an exhaust, looks like a front mount. Oh no, the badge, yeah, it had a dealer badge, that's what it was. Okay. Oh, is this actually a final edition? Or did they just throw a final edition badge? This is not an actual final edition, because there is no such thing as a final edition MR. So they just threw that badge on there. Okay. Does still have the two-piece rotors. Yeah, I mean, you should definitely buy the blue one over this one, that's for sure. Otherwise, if you can get them to come a few grand off and you're in the Colorado area and you want a low mileage, and by few, I mean like 5, then yeah, maybe. All right, that pretty much does it for the Evo X MRs. This is going to be a long video. I'm going to do virtually no editing on it because of how long it is already. I've tried to keep this as quick as possible anyways. I'll probably do like a little outro here, but just know that really with the 10s, it's, for me, the value is in the closer to stock or very specific mods. And history of those mods, and any and more mods that it has, the more I want it to be a private seller. So if you guys have any questions, definitely leave them below. Other than that, I'll do a little outro here, but we'll see you on the next video. All right, hope you found this video helpful. I am doing the Evo X MR, GSR, Final Edition, and SE shopping trips for January 2019 today. I should have them all posted within the next couple of days because I want you guys to be able to actually reproduce these same search results. With that in mind, I do very little editing because I want to get these up as quickly as possible. So forgive me if there's time gaps or however you want to say it, you know, between searches. Like I'm not editing the video to speed it up any because it takes too long and the information may change at that point. As I've said before, Evo market, while it's not a large market, it is a quick market when it comes to good cars. So I'd rather you guys get the information quickly if you're actually shopping for an Evo. That way you can move on and make a decision on your own versus editing it, making the video maybe shorter by a few minutes so there's not as many gaps, but you end up finding a car that you love in the video and go to search for it and turn out it's already sold. Probably gonna have to reshoot this whole thing because I didn't even realize he had the antler again. How about hockey puck? That's a nice quiet one. And then I take the antler. You've got a nice quiet toy. Yeah, you like that one. We call it hockey puck. That's what it looks like. It slides around. Oh, good boy, Lotus. That's a good boy. Yeah, he's gonna go back to sleep. I know it, because we played ball this morning, so they're tired. All right, please subscribe, follow along, like if that's your thing. Send me your, contact me through Instagram if you want me to feature your Instagram. I know I don't get a lot of views right now, but if you want to maybe get some Instagram followers, other Evo owners and so forth, I'm definitely willing to do that. So just let me know and I will share your Instagram. Appreciate you guys watching and you guys have a great day.